super rare liver disease. Sorry, it's obviously a little heavy for me, but so she passed away.
What's her name?
Her name is Nafis.
Nafis. That's a pretty name, huh?
Yeah. And she passed away, and Nana passed away a few years ago when I was in college. It was a while ago now. And, I didn't get a chance to... Miss Beulah, I got to say a proper goodbye to. I went and saw her when she was staying in a retirement home. Nana, I didn't have that same moment. I was in college, and it wasn't the same kind of thing where I had that opportunity to say bye. But my mom had told me that she went to go see... visit my sister at the cemetery, and my sister's buried in South Carolina in Bennettsville, and that is a tricky thing because my family's from a Muslim background, and they were asking the cemetery, can we do the things we do for our culture? And the cemetery was like, yeah, of course, whatever you need to do, which is just so cool to me that they were open to that, and the whole community, were visiting our family and everything. And I remember even like a priest came by to just, even though we were a different religion, he came and like wanted to talk to us and stuff, and everyone was just so kind about it. And my mom told me that she went to go see my sister at the cemetery. And she said, oh, and we saw Nana too. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, Nana's buried right next to her.
No.
And I like melted as a human because I did not know that. And to me, like, I heard that and I was like, wow, like, I was saying all this stuff about crazy this country is and how crazy it feels right now. But that story, that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world, man. Like those two people, my sister and this woman
that
Nana,
befriended you guys.
Yeah. Have that close a bond where she's like, I want to be buried next to her. I mean, it was
wow.
I did not know that. And I heard that and I was like, I don't know why it popped in my head, but I'm so glad it did, and that I got to share that with you because I heard that story and I was like, man, people need to hear that story because it's not the story people
want to tell. Oh, it's not the story that the media wants to tell. It's not a story that...
It's a story that doesn't really get the clicks.
But it's the story that's probably... It's the truth that most people... That the human part of us is what makes us special. And that's the part that we should all try and lean into the most, is that we're this special thing that can care about each other,
Yeah, I mean, the fact that these people saw my parents and tried to forge this bond with them, and I mean, I hope we're still a place where that kind of stuff can happen.
I think it happens a lot. I think you're just right. I think it's not it's not the news, but I think it is more common probably than we think. Thanks for sharing that, dude. It is an important story. That's a great story.
Oof. Sorry.
Did your sister have it the whole time when she was growing up, when she was from birth?
Yeah, it was one of these things where the life expectancy with that Hurlers is not it's not very long. She passed when she was like 6-8 years old.
Oh,
yeah.
And was she?
And it's one of these things I don't really talk about it very much, and a lot of people even that know me don't know I had a sister because people would ask me like, "Oh, do you have any siblings?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got a little brother, and I had a sister that passed away." And I would say it like that, and then people would be like, "Ah!" Like it's a very like heavy thing to hear all of a sudden. And so I was like, "Oh, I don't want to make people uncomfortable, so I'll just say, oh, I have a little brother." And then they'll be like, "What's you guys' gap?" "Oh, he's 7 years younger." "Wow, it's a big gap." "Yeah, I'm gonna not go down this thing because I don't want to bum everybody out because we're all just hanging out at Chick-fil-A right now."
Sitting there tapping her foot like, "What are we doing here?" No, dude, that's my sister was born with a rare liver disease and she had to get a liver transplant when we were kids.
Oh, wow.
So we spent most of our childhood like she was always this thing that we couldn't touch because she always had to have these surgeries and stuff. So I think it just reminds me like a lot of that. I think some of that kind
Oh man.
that stuff. I think it's just interesting when you grow up with a sibling that's sick because I think I never even thought about it till you were saying some of this. It just like, I don't know, you have to adjust yourself, I think, to try and maybe, like my sister got most of the care, right? But she needed most of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird. So there were times where I'd be like, I don't, later on in life, I'd be like, oh, I didn't get this care. But it was like, I didn't need it the most,
What was you guys' age difference?
2 years. And she's still alive. She ended up getting a liver transplant. She got one of the first liver transplants in, we moved to Arizona. She got it out there. But
that's incredible.
But it was just this whole time when she was a kid, she was always being flown off to these places and they sounded magical, like Rochester, Minnesota, just different places where there's these big hospitals. And she'd come back like this, like almost like this Build-A-Bear that somebody done a shitty job with. You know what I'm saying? Like just all these scars and stuff.
Oh
but it was just, she was always this, it was weird because you like couldn't hold it. It was just like, it was interesting. Did you have any experience like that with your sister or what was it like?
There wasn't that kind of, there wasn't like all these things to try because the Hurlers is pretty, they don't really have a thing. There's like, you can maybe do a bone marrow transplant, but it's not really a thing they've made much progress on. So there was never anything like that. And I don't know, it's interesting talking about this because you think about, it's like when you're a kid, it's so hard to understand what's happening. You have no frame of reference. And,
Totally.
when I look back on that stuff as an adult, I can't imagine how hard it was for my parents. Like,
oh, yeah.
To have a child that has something like that and then to lose a child, I can't, it's strange to like step outside of yourself. And honestly, this is like some of the most I've talked about it with anybody.
And I don't mean to pry about it. It's just,
and there's also a thing no, and not at all. I don't think you're prying at all. And I think it's really interesting that you had something. Your sister had something as well. But there's a thing with like Indian families, and maybe it's a lot of families in that time. It's like you don't talk about stuff.
Oh, really? Is that like an Indian thing, kind of?
I think there's something of like, oh, you're not as open about your feelings and stuff, and you're just a little bit more closed off. I think so, yeah. With Asian families, Indian families, I think with emotional stuff like that,
But you guys do reincarnation, so you're probably just like, oh, we can have the feelings later. We can have this.
That's in Hinduism. That's a different thing. But
oh, really? Fuck.
Yeah.
So you guys are one time only?
Islam, it's the same as Christianity. It's in terms of that stuff. As far as I know, I'm not a super religious guy, but yes, that's there's the reincarnation is just in Hindu culture.
Dang, so you guys are one and done, huh?
I mean, so is a lot of people.
Okay, I'm just saying, yeah. But yeah,
man, we really went for a heavy turn after micro donkeys.
It's okay.
This is you're teared up over here. I'm teared up. But it's good to talk about this stuff and it's so strange to think back about those times and
yeah, to think
everything
about your parents,
my family went through, especially my parents.
I never think about that. I always think about things. This is one place that I kind of like struggle with. I think a lot of times I'll think about certain periods and things that happen, and I'll only think about it like as to how it affected me. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, to get into that place of where you're even thinking like, well, how did this affect my parents? Like I was eating dinner with some friends yesterday, and in the background, she has like these 4 kids, and they're beautiful kids. They have the cutest kids. And they're all going haywire. And it was the first time I thought, holy shit, my mom had 4 kids and nobody to fucking help. Like there was, and it was, can you imagine what that would be like these days?
That sounds impossible.
Impossible. And our parents were able to do that kind of stuff. But it was the first time that I had like even had a perspective moment like that was that clear, Oh,
yeah. I just
so for you to have that, I think is pretty cool that you think like, oh, what my parents must have went through, because it's like, yeah, it's like for us, it's a sibling, but for them, it's like, it's probably something that feels far greater,
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to delve into that, man.
No, I'm glad we did, and I think it's a really interesting thing to talk about. And for me, I
I bet you'd be so proud of you.